see if I can sit so I'm not interfering with the thing, and yet you can still see what I'm doing. Okay. So, this is our YouTube channel. Now, there are a bunch of things about it. If you just keep clicking this, whoops, sorry, you end up where you're at the end and you can't go further. And that's potentially confusing because the uploads here includes all uploads, but you seem to only be able to see like 10 of them at a time. You can see these 5 and these 5, and then there's nothing to continue. But you click up here on uploads, and then you get them all. But it no longer shows the popular videos. You can scroll down and just keep scrolling and see a kind of consecutive list of them. So that's the way to do it in terms of the actual date that they were uploaded. And when you do that, you also see the unlisted videos. The unlisted videos don't tend to be very appealing, and that's the reason that they're unlisted. But when you're looking at it this way, you're seeing things that the outside world can't see. They can't see the unlisted videos. You can. But when you're in this mode, you're seeing the same thing as the outside world sees. So you don't see any unlisted videos. You go down into popular uploads. I think it's similar. Yeah, this also does not continue forever if you just keep clicking on the right end, but if you click up here, then you see them all. You see all the popular ones, but beginning with the most popular ones and then going down. And you realize how quickly it sort of tails off, and that the most popular Jonathan Schaefer one is 4.4 thousand, and this Rich Sutton one is already 1,000 here. So there are very few that are over 1,000, just I guess 11 that are over 1,000. So when you're looking for something, you can search for the actual name if you know it up here, but also if it's popular and you know that it's on this list, you have some idea of where you can readily find it. And the playlists, so these are the created playlists.
And I am Kim Solez, music writer, to invite you to engage.
It's wonderful to listen to that, but I'm not sure that you want to hear it right now. So, anyway, okay. So the playlists, there are others, but the ones that show now are, I think, the most interesting ones. So if you click here, you get the student presentations, course video high points. So the favorites is the last thing that I liked. So it tends to sort of vary that way. No, it isn't. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't completely understand what the favorites are. So this, I guess, is the last video that I liked, and that would be right, because this is the most recent human cell atlas thing. And then this course video high points, multiple different videos from that play at this bottom. So that's what what people see when they come to the thing. And you could change a lot of that in this customized channel link. The Creator Studio thing, so that's where you find a lot of the other interesting things. So the dashboard is the quickest way to tell how many subscribers we have. So there was one other overnight, because it was 486 last night, and this will probably tell us. No. So it only tells you who the new subscriber is if they've agreed to make that public. A lot of people, subscribe to things without allowing YouTube to tell people who they are. You can look at a list of all of our subscribers, and it's a very dull list because I don't know most of the people. That may seem surprising. I don't know how so many strangers ended up, but by going into community and then subscribers, you can see this big long list of every single subscriber. I think no, it says only subscribers who share their subscriptions publicly are shown. Right. So this too doesn't show them all. It only shows the people who are willing to be public. Then the analytics is another part of this. So the analytics is things like watch time and average view duration, audience retention, and so on. But recently, with the rapid changes in the channel, I've become quite interested in the real-time stats, which is the last 60 minutes here and the last 48 hours here. And that has shown some pretty dramatic effects, like Ernest Spicer has given us some peaks here over 20, and I just never had that before. So it's like kind of fervent or very excited people watching our videos all at the same time. It's kind of nice that happens sometimes now. And then this gives the same thing for the individual videos, like the Jonathan White. That's one of the two videos that has been most promoted here. And you can see that a lot of the views in the last 48 hours were of that, but none over the last hour. So, yeah, I guess this is sequential. And I guess that's because usually the latest video that's getting action would be one that you've uploaded recently. But in the case of your course video, that isn't the case. So we can go back and see a few days ago. That had 130 subscribers. So let's see, 130 views. Let's see, I think the easiest way to see your course video. It's here. Yeah, so it's got 24 new views during this time that it's been specifically promoted. Okay, So I'll just show you. About audience retention, and then we'll go on to pictures. Okay, so audience retention is right here, and see that it has improved substantially this year. Let's see, compared to last year. This is 2017. Yeah, I mean, this is just much lower. This averages around 6, and this year it averages around 10 or so. So, it's been a substantial increase. And you can take the individual videos and do analysis on them. So this shows the audience retention at different points, and you can move along and see where these peaks are, exactly what he's saying, what he's doing. You can analyze the cause of the peaks, like this slide caused a peak. So sometimes that's quite interesting. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is just briefly about pictures. So now, on a modern Mac, the pictures are also in Photos. It's the major thing that I use to like improve the pictures and that sort of thing. So this Photos shows basically all the pictures over a very long period of time, but it's not divided up or labeled in any way. So I just randomly go back, and so it's kind of hard to find things if you desperately want something.
Yeah.
Not only is it very likely to be here, and this is consecutive, so like going back to like 2007 or earlier, but these are the higher resolution pictures because on Facebook they're downgraded, so that if you wanted a really high res picture, you would find it here in Photos. But you can see the way in which everything is sort of merged together. There is some indication of timing sometimes, but not of the actual subject and so on. So in a sense, everything's there, and it's all there in high res, but it's not that easy to find. Now, if you want to find previous pictures of mine, one of the easiest ways is to go into Photos, and then Albums. So in the past, almost every set of pictures had an album name. Now you have to have a large number of pictures before you can actually name an album. So it's become different. But if we now look at the albums, this is what I was talking about, the slow scrolling. So I have about 1,900 albums, And so it takes a really long time to get back
Yeah.
to previous years. So if you look at the keyboard and the down arrow here, and if you look at a stapler, you realize that if you put the stapler on that down arrow, you can walk away and do something else and just come back magically when it's finally gotten to where you're going. So why would you want to do this? Well, this is the way to get actual actionable albums that function as Facebook albums. And you can then copy the link and everybody will be able to see this stuff. But the problem is that if you then go back to anything else, like now I can copy this link and I can show everybody this set of pictures from the past and so on. But if I hit back, you would think that I would go back to the scroll down area, but I don't. I go back to the most recent 2018 stuff. So it's a really time-consuming process to search for pictures this way. The other thing you can do is take a title, like let's take this Kim and Alex and Elaine and see what it gives us. But the interesting thing is, for reasons I don't know, sometimes Facebook just refuses to do a search. It's sort of saying, sorry Dave, I can't do that. You know, it's like 2001 all over again. So let's see if I can find something that's Kim and Alex and Elaine. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So it found it. But sometimes when you put the name up there, even though you know that it's sitting there, it tells you that it's not saying it can't find it, it's saying it can't do the search. Like, I'm not going to do a search for you right now. Sorry. And so then, all of these are also in the download that I did of my Facebook account. But when you go into the actual pictures, you don't get anything that's immediately actionable. You have to do screen captures of the pictures in order to really make them something you can use. You don't get a URL for them and so on. So sometimes you end up using a combination of the downloaded Facebook stuff and the online stuff. Like once you find it on the download, then you can search for it and on the online stuff. Now, a lot of people, of course, don't do Facebook, and so I also have, let's see, create a new window here. So there is Flickr, and okay, Kim Solez's albums on Flickr. Yeah. So in some ways this is better than Facebook, and in some ways worse. So this gives you high resolution pictures and many choices in terms of picture sizes, but it also is specifically blocked by Alberta Health Services. Facebook used to be, but years ago they unblocked Facebook, but Flickr is still blocked. And so, but you can take any picture here and you get multiple options if you go to download. So many of my best stuff is both on Flickr and on Facebook. And there are several different sets. Now if you So if you get into something and you then just go back to the albums list to see the others. So with videos, I do the video editing in iMovie. And since I got this computer, currently I do almost all the editing on this computer. And so the things that are saved, like the things from the beginning of time, I got rid of most of the videos that I thought no one would ever want to access again, and just so this looks heavily, selected. Just a few of the poets from the Poetry Night and the best of the course videos and that sort of thing. When you get down to the more recent stuff, then it's basically everything, because I have not yet deleted anything. So this is the latest course video. These are individual poets from Tuesday Night Poetry. This is my pitch there. That was successful. And this is course stuff. So a lot of these will exist in two places. So they're here, and like I could make new video files from this presence of this video here within iMovie. But there also, many of them are already individual video files. So if you look like the larger things that I have, they're almost all videos. So if you just click size, so you're ordering by size, everything at the top here. When iMovie begins dealing with a video, it simply gives it a number, and that number is determined by the storage disk, the card that I'm using in the camcorder. So the reason for the A's is we end up frequently reusing numbers, because I delete the video file from the card, but I don't delete all the associated stuff. So the camcorder may decide to reuse numbers. So the numbers are not absolutely unique. And so if I already have a 172 and I'm downloading something that's now called 172, call it 172A or something like that. And depending upon what I'm doing, if I'm uploading to YouTube, then I usually keep the numbered version until it gets to YouTube and I rename it there. If I'm uploading directly to Facebook, then I usually rename the thing here, so you can then tell from the name what it is. Now, maybe the final thing to show you is if we go back to the YouTube channel, if we looked at Video Manager, so this is a list of all the videos, and right here, see, it says edit here, but then there is a list that you get if you click that down thing. And one of the things you could do here is download MP4. So if you needed a video file to do something with from a video that I had uploaded to YouTube, you can get it this way. Sometimes it's lower res than what was uploaded. So currently we're uploading 4K video. I can show you about that. So if we go back, let's see if it's true. Yeah. So this is a 4K video, but I think if I were to download it again from Video Manager, that it would probably be, if you look at the other options here, a very popular one online is 720p or 1080p. So it would probably end up as one of those. So it's lower res, but it depends on the size of screen that people are using. If they're just looking at it on their phone, it's actually faster as 1080 or 720, and they don't get anything from the 4K stuff if it's on a phone. If it's on a big, desktop machine, then it makes an obvious difference. Now, the only exception to being able to download it is if you don't own the rights outright. And why would you not own the rights outright? So if you upload something with copyrighted music or footage from somebody else, then YouTube will frequently detect that, and it then behaves a little bit different. It will frequently, if it's a fairly minor thing, give you an ultimate resolution, like they contacted the copyright owners, and the copyright owners didn't have any issue with you using it. They may still run an ad, even though you're not monetizing your channel because it's somebody else's content. That they're going to run an ad before it and give them the money from the ad revenue and that sort of thing. So that's the other thing about that. Finally, there's translations, transcriptions, and so this is how the closed captions get done, and I've done that pretty much for the things that are in the playlist we have. I haven't quite finished them all, but mostly. So if you look at playlist. So you can turn on closed caption. Yeah. And to some extent, it depends upon the browser that you're in, exactly how bright the words are and the font used and so on. Slightly different in Chrome, Safari and so on. I have had very limited success getting other people to do this. I did on just one poetry video. I got somebody else to do it, but it's something that I think only I feel that it's worth spending time on this, as far as I can tell. But you can also, you can turn these on, the sort of machine-generated ones that haven't been edited, on other videos. It just gets embarrassing when it's obvious that the machine has misunderstood a word or something. So there are times when I'm spending a lot of time doing this, and anyway, it seems to me to be time well spent. The other thing you can do is, once you have the captions, you can then do translations. You know, like if you're dealing with something that where a lot of other people would be interested, you can get people to voluntarily translate them into other languages and so on. So I look forward to that eventually happening. The thing that happened to me, Lady Vanessa Cardona is one of our best poets, and she has some poetry in Spanish, and I think she probably never intended for me to get that translated, but I attempted. I have a lot of Spanish-speaking Facebook friends, but I couldn't get anybody who would actually do the Spanish to English translation. But that's sort of that's all that I've done with the translation side of the captions. So if then so Avoca 99 is where my first videos are. That was the YouTube channel that I had before I began Kim Solez. There's not a lot of stuff that's really fascinating there, but you know, it's just important for you to know about that, I guess. The production quality is a little iffy too, because you know, a lot of the backgrounds are like green and yellow and stuff, so we didn't get that side of it. So live streaming I haven't gotten into. That's something we could do at some point, where yeah, there's there are a lot of things like that. Live streaming is a way to increase user interest in your channel. And there's another thing you can have, what's it called? Super chats. Super chat sounds positive, but it's where you get a very large number of people watching you live stream, and the people who pay money can actually comment. So there are people paying money to be able to comment. And that also requires you to have over 1,000 subscribers and that sort of thing. I don't know that I'll ever want to do that. It seems like I never heard of that. I didn't know that there's ever a situation where you have to pay to have your comment appear. But anyway, and sponsorships also work like that. Like, you can have a relationship with a company, and